before we play the next piece, I think I should probably say a bit about it. It's a little bit odd, so I think context and oops might help. Arthur Honegger wrote this piece as part of a gala performance in 1936 for a play called The 14th of July, written by Romain Rolland. I apologize for my terrible French pronunciation. This play was actually written in 1901, performed in 1902, and didn't see the light of day again until July 14th, 1936. July 14th is, of course, Bastille Day. And 1936 is a very significant year, both in European history and in French history in particular. In May of 1936, the Popular Front, as it was called, a coalition of various left-wing parties, took power. It was the first genuinely socialist government in the history of France. And in the context of mid-1930s Europe, where fascism was on the rise seemingly everywhere, this was seen as a great victory for left-leaning people everywhere. And the greatest cultural expression of the euphoria that followed on from this political victory was this revisiting of Rolland's play from 1902. It tells the story of the French Revolution, in particular the storming and eventually taking of the Bastille by the peasants in the French Revolution who revolted against the aristocracy. Rolland wasn't just writing about the French Revolution, though. He was writing, as he said, about the Bastilles that remained to be taken in his own day. And though he was a lifelong pacifist, he looked around Europe and saw that, as in 1789 in the French Revolution, it might actually be necessary to take those Bastilles, so to speak, by force. So this march that Honegger wrote for the play takes place as the prelude to Act 3, and it represents, as the title might suggest to you, the march of the peasants toward the Bastille, which they will eventually triumphantly take over. But the artists who worked on this performance in 1936, who in addition to Honegger included the composers, other famous composers of the time, such as Darius Milhaud, Jacques Ibert, Charles Koechlin, and other people like that. Pablo Picasso was involved in the scenery. It was a huge production. Most of the artists and intellectuals in Paris at that time were involved one way or another. And again, though the play is about the French Revolution, and that was what it was ostensibly about, pretty much everybody involved also had their eye on very worrying situations in Germany, Italy, and Spain at that time. So if this piece seems rather dark and grotesque, despite the triumphant nature of the play in which it is set, that perhaps gives you some context as to why. So this is Arthur Honegger's March to the Bastille.